YouTube is finally giving us longer shorts. TikTok is being sued again. Canva is not going to increase our pricing by 300%. And Adobe is pretending to care about creators while Google and YouTube have decided to go all in on AI and just cut out the creators, apparently. This is the Act 18 show. Hey, I'm Jason, faith-based entrepreneur and marketing geek. Timestamps and sources below, along with a link to today's sponsor, us again. It is our sales funnel template pack that has our best performing funnel pages, from landing pages, sales pages, upsell pages, as well as an email sequence and course framework to help you to go from idea to sales as quickly as possible using 100% free software. Check that out in the link in the description below for whatever product or service that you are selling. Now we're gonna kick things off today with YouTube, because thankfully, YouTube has finally heard our complaints about shorts and is doing I'd say the second thing we really wanted. You still can't do custom thumbnails, but you can finally have a short that's longer than 60 seconds. So here's the deal. Starting October 15th, when you upload a video that's a 9:16 ratio or some other ones as well, then YouTube will automatically see that, hey, this should be a short, and it will be treated as such, as opposed to what happens now if you upload a 9:16 aspect ratio video, that's longer than 60 seconds, it just winds up being shown as a normal YouTube video and the experience kind of stinks, right? The downside here is if you have done that in the past, if you've uploaded shorts that were longer than 60 seconds, they are not automatically going to be treated as shorts now. So if you have any of those, you're gonna have to take them down and then re-upload them after October 15th. But a little asterisk here, I don't recommend starting on October 15th because they are going to take some time to roll it out. If you've been on YouTube, I don't know, longer than a couple months, then you know they can sometimes take a while. You know, there's billions of people using this platform, so sometimes it takes them a while to work out the kinks. So I'd recommend starting now with your production, because thank you, this is gonna make things so much easier. But wait until like July, or not July, what am I doing? July. Wait until October 30th before starting to post them. I think that giving them kind of a 15-day leeway to work out the kinks and make sure that shorts are showing up in the proper place. Now, let's move on to poor old TikTok. Now, TikTok they're being sued again. So as we go into this, just two questions to kind of keep in mind as we go through this context. Number one, how would this be different if it was a US-based social media company? And then number two, how is this any different than what all other social media companies already do? So to quote one of the attorney generals in this case, number one, TikTok cultivates social media addiction to boost corporate profits. Sounds pretty familiar. Number two, TikTok intentionally targets children because they know kids do not have the defenses or capacity to create healthy boundaries around addictive content. Let's just change that to addictive anything. That's going to matter in a moment. And then number three, to protect young people and help combat the nationwide youth mental health crisis. For the most part, all of those sound good. But then I did a quick GPT search. 19.7% of kids in the US are considered obese. So maybe if we just changed it to a health crisis, all of a sudden we'd realize that it's not just maybe TikTok that's an issue, along with all the other social media platforms, but why isn't there a huge conversation around all of the sugary snacks and cereals and candy that's prolifically and consistently marketed to children as part of this nutritious breakfast, right? So a quick search, turns out food companies have spent over $300 million over the past 10 years lobbying to make sure that all they have to say at the end of their ad is part of a nutritious breakfast, right? We all know kids are not listening to that at all, but that's beside the point. So, dear TikTok, all you need to do is spend $300 billion in lobbying and all the attorney generals will leave you alone. Actually, there's an extra $34 million that you'll have to spend on strategic campaign contributions because certain senators and certain AGs need those sweet campaign dollars to leave your companies alone. So $324 million later, TikTok could be like all of the food companies that market sugary snacks to kids. Whew. Okay, let's move on to some rapid fire updates. Honestly, when I first started putting together this show, I did not think I would be tackling topics that were this complex or heavy. I thought we would just talk about creating content and running some ads, but there you go. So rapid fire, back to some YouTube things. Apparently YouTube accidentally deleted thousands of accounts with some sort of back-end security upgrade or algo upgrade. Who really knows what happened? But just looking at the Twitter feed, apparently they've been able to restore a lot of the channels that were accidentally deleted. It is pretty crazy to think that with one keystroke, 5 or 6 years of video posting just evaporates in an instant. I guess that's why we should diversify our content strategies eventually. And unfortunately, it seems like several people still do not have their accounts back. So that's kind of sad. In more YouTube updates, YouTube is now rolling out some more features for Shorts creators. You'll be able to see upcoming songs and more easily remix videos. Since I'm not a Shorts creator in the sense of like mainstream Shorts content, I don't think it's going to be too relevant to us. But what is cool is apparently you can turn off the Shorts feed on your phone or your desktop. So eventually you'll be able to just click these 3 little dots and say, please stop showing me shorts that I don't actually care about. Although YouTube is very convinced that we all want to see Shorts content non-stop. Although I personally like watching the longer YouTube videos because we all know that just 10 or 15 minutes scrolling through Shorts really does mess with your brain. You're just kind of getting stuck in that dopamine cycle. But anyway, last YouTube update here is apparently YouTube Studio is now going to be in landscape mode on your phone. So something that I'm sure lots of people asked for. Personally, I just use my laptop for everything, but maybe I'm old school that way. Something else that's really cool, X is finally back in Brazil. So I guess we can go back to talking about X and their features and their updates as opposed to X and fighting free speech or not free speech in a foreign country. And our final rapid fire update is apparently YouTube is going to be rolling out an AI chat for all YouTube premium subscribers. So instead of people watching your video and then asking you a question about your video, they're going to ask AI, which seems pretty counter to just a couple weeks ago. They did their Made on YouTube event. They were super into like, yeah, YouTube communities, yay, creators. And now they're like, yeah, don't ask the person who made the video, ask our AI for clarification. So it seems like on one hand, they're encouraging more human-to-human interaction and creator engagement. And on the other hand, they're like, just use our AI stuff, right? So not a huge fan of this. I'd rather people ask me, especially when it comes to our Google Ads tutorials, because I can virtually guarantee whatever Gemini tells people to do with their Google Ads campaigns is going to make Google more money, not the advertiser. Oh, and apparently Google's note-taking app now gives people the ability to put in a YouTube URL and it will quickly make a notes or outline of whatever content was in that video. Awesome for students, but also means if you're a creator, you know how much of our content gets stolen and recycled by people who are just trying to grow a channel because they want to make a quick buck. So on the one hand, it's cool that people can easily take notes on our videos. On the other hand, it's not cool because YouTube and Google just seem to keep inching forward on encouraging us to keep creating content so they can leverage it to make their AI products better. Not cool. Adobe is now trying to make good with all the creators they forced to contribute to their AI platform. If you missed it, Adobe had a terms of service update about a month ago where you had to agree to allow all of your Adobe projects be used in their AI training, which obviously is a problem. But you couldn't access any of your projects until you agreed to it. Notably, there was a lot of backlash. Obviously, that stunk. I would personally recommend just not using Adobe products anymore because I'm pretty sure they're going to do something like that again. But it seems like to try and save face and do a little bit of rebrand, they're now offering creators an ability to add a tag to their outputs in terms of photos or videos that tells other AI not to use it in their training. So Adobe's cool with taking your stuff to train its own AI, but then it'll help you stop other AIs from using your content to train. Of course, it's just a tag. Other AIs can just ignore it. It's just kind of like saying, hey, please don't copy me. Oh, too late. It's already been copied. I don't think this is going to do much of anything. And I still don't think it's a good idea to allow any of these content creation tools to start tagging or cataloging your content. Speaking of tagging and cataloging, Google is now, according to Search Engine Land, experimenting with more AI. It's making me less and less excited about blogging. We've done a lot of blogging for my own brand. Of course, I got hacked a couple years ago, so we have never recovered from our rankings. But it seems more and more Google is just going to turn the search results page into AI and ads because it makes them more money. And finally, LinkedIn has apparently done away with their top voices feature. So in case you hadn't noticed or you hadn't seen this, LinkedIn used to give people prompts that were generated by AI, and if you wrote enough content for LinkedIn, you would get a top voices badge, which of course would help you look like more of an authority. Apparently people complained because a lot of people thought that the people who were getting those top voices badges didn't deserve it, as in they didn't think they were actual experts in their field of whatever the top voices badges is. And so LinkedIn has decided to do away with that. And the reason I included this is because these features, they come and go so fast with so many of these social media platforms. And honestly, 9 out of 10 times, it's not worth changing your production process. It's not worth changing your project plans to try and capitalize on a new feature or benefit that a platform is, yelling about to try and get you to create content for them. So definitely, whatever your content strategy is, always stick to it. I'm a huge fan of either you're blogging, you're creating YouTube videos, or you're creating a podcast. And you just focus on making that the best content you can, and then use that to syndicate it across other platforms. If you have some extra time to use something like LinkedIn top voices, go for it. But at the end of the day, when you're creating content for one platform, and again, a keystroke, and all of that time and energy people spent trying to get that top voice badge is gone like that. There are some other badges, but you have to qualify via the LinkedIn editorial team. There's no way to apply for them. You just kind of have to wait for someone at LinkedIn to go, oh, I think this person is an expert, so I'll give you the badge manually. So that does it for today's show. Oh, no, Canva, I'm sorry. Canva just literally right before I hit record sent me a message letting me know that they are not going to be increasing our pricing 300%. It seems like they found out that people were not only unwilling to pay, they apparently got a lot of people who were unsubscribing, like canceling, because on the support page for what you need to do, the main instructions are how to uncancel your account. So they must have gotten enough people to cancel to the point where they're like, oh, maybe we can't force AI down everyone's throats and we shouldn't just dramatically increase our pricing 300%. Again, I think Canva is very close to being worth their price increase, but they just have, I don't know, a year of development more, and I think they can make it as long as they give us the ability to be a serious video editing platform. I think they really can come out on top, especially if they're trying to compete with someone like Adobe. At least Canva isn't taking our content for their AI, so that's pretty cool. So thank you so much for watching. Sincerely hope you got some value out of this episode. Comment below with any of your questions or feedback, and until the next, keep building the business you love.